Hi, I'm Joanne and welcome to my race review video of the Pittsburgh Half Marathon, which I recently ran on Sunday, May 3rd of this year. I am going to be using my race notes. If you're thinking about doing a race, whether it's a half marathon, a 5K, what have you, it will restore your faith in people and humanity. There is nothing like, especially, the larger races, there are thousands of people there, what we call crowd support, but just basically thousands of people who are out there. Yes, maybe they're cheering on a particular person, a friend, family member, but they're also just cheering on to complete strangers. And I can't explain, I get a little teary-eyed just thinking about it. They're just out there, they're happy to see you working so hard, and they're just cheering you on, and they want the best for you, and it's just so awesome. So that is definitely the number one best thing about these races, in my opinion, is that people are great. Okay, so the things that we're bombarded with these days, it makes you start questioning whether people can be good, but they can be, and a great way to see that is at a running race. Okay, so that's my PSA of the day. All right, so let's get into my race notes here. So this was kind of a mini vacation for me and my husband, including a pasta party, a pre-race pasta party thrown by good friends of ours. It was kind of a pre-race mixed with the graduation and birthday party, so that was awesome. If you guys are watching this, thank you so much for doing that. You're the best. And then I'll go into details and things that I remember about the race itself. And then part 2 of this video will be, I'll show you clips of the race weekend itself. It was a Pittsburgh Half Marathon. It's a whole weekend of races, but I did the half marathon, which occurs on I believe every year the first Sunday of May. So this year it was Sunday, May 3rd of 2026. What was the weather like? The weather was 35 degrees. It went into, I believe, the low to mid 40s that day, so it was chilly. I actually ended up wearing the race shirt, so this is part of the swag. A really nice, I don't know if I can really get that across, but it's a very nice quality, like technical running shirt. It's long sleeve, and it was actually perfect to wear on top. And then I wore like 3/4 length tights on the bottom. I was going to wear shorts, but it was just basically too cold for that. We stayed at the Sheraton Hotel in the Station Square area of Pittsburgh. So it was Sheraton and Station Square. My husband used, I don't know if they call it a lottery, but there on the race website, there was like a hotel, I guess like a lottery, where you could submit a request for a hotel, and then they would contact you with hotel options. And I believe they were discounted rates. The Sheraton in Station Square was about 2 miles from the race start. So if you're a more advanced, like a more experienced runner, then that 2-mile distance is a perfect warm-up. But if you're more of a beginner, I would say it was still a good location, but you could always Uber to the start too, or drive to the start. Restaurants. So the Sheraton in Station Square does not have a comp breakfast, but they do have a breakfast buffet in the lobby, which is not included with your hotel fee, but they do have a breakfast buffet. We went and stayed Friday night and Saturday night at the Sheraton in Station Square. So for the Saturday morning, we did get breakfast delivered to our room instead of going down to the buffet. They will deliver breakfast to you, but it basically was like the breakfast buffet food brought up to you in like takeout containers. So there was a pancake in there, scrambled eggs, and I think some sausage or bacon or something like that, and then coffee and to-go cups. And then race morning, I brought I brought my own food, bagels, gels, Gatorade and stuff like that. And the hotel room did have a refrigerator in it. No microwave, but a refrigerator. So you're able to bring your own food. The Race Expo is an experience in and of itself. They have a live DJ inside of the expo center. But again, live music, it is loud in there. So just so you know, like, if you want to go and get pumped up, that's the perfect place to be. If you like peace and quiet before your race, then maybe get in there, get your bib, and be on your way. Did also eat out at a restaurant called Tupelo Honey, Southern Kitchen and Bar. This was in the Station Square area, right, just a little walk down from our hotel. It was very good. It was a great atmosphere in there. I actually got fried chicken and waffles for the first time. That's kind of their thing, that they make home, like, scratch-made food. I also had something called a feel-good shot. No alcohol, but it came in a shot glass, and it was like ginger and I think carrot juice and turmeric and things like that. And I don't know if that's what helped me, but I did better in the race than I thought I would. So I'm gonna get that feel-good shot again next year. Race swag. So again, this very nice technical shirt, really good quality. We got these bib clips. So these, they're like things you can use to clip your bib onto your shirt. I didn't end up using these. I don't remember why. I think I forgot I had them, but those are nice to have. So I'm gonna throw these in my running bag. It's always good to have backup because sometimes, like in smaller races, they will forget to have things, or they'll run out of safety pins, but you need something, either safety pins or something like this, to clip your race bib onto your shirt. So that was nice. This was not actually race swag, but at the expo they had a booth of women who, I think it was Women Who Rock organization or something. So I got this cool Women Who Rock sticker, which I'll put on one of my journals. We got a National Running Center coupon, 20% off. This was not part of the race swag, but I just want to show this to you. So some races, they give you like a bag that your race swag comes in. Pittsburgh does not do that. But if you go to the gear check-in booth, they'll give you this plastic bag, I guess sponsored by FedEx. So this was, we got this at the beginning. So if you get this, then you can throw all your, your shirt and your bib and all that stuff in this bag, and whatever else you buy at the expo, you can use that. So I would say, I don't know, I feel like the swag is a little bit limited, especially for a big race, but again, the shirt though is really good quality, so that made up for a lot. This was not part of the swag, but I just wanted to show you there's of course all kinds of vendors there, and I don't know how you pronounce that. Is it Huma? So I tried this apples and cinnamon energy gel. So that was, I think I had another flavor, one of these before my race, and these are very good. But just to give you an idea, there is all kinds of course, energy gels, gummies and things like that. So you're well covered there. And then last but not least, the finisher's medal. And it is a beautiful medal. Really pretty, really gold and glamorous looking, and you can get your name and things like that engraved in the back. Geez, don't mind my nails. The race itself. So one of the first things I wrote down in my running journal after the race was, wow, sums it up. And what happened is, as I finished the race and I was walking through the section, where you get your medal, I turned and looked at someone that was a complete stranger, and this big tall guy just looked at me, and he just went, wow. And I knew exactly what he meant. The race, I believe, I don't know if all of the races, but I believe the full marathon and the half marathon were completely sold out. And the news reports are that a total of 52,000 participants ran different races. So thousands of people. There was never a moment in the half marathon where I was running alone. You're always running in a crowd of people. Again, like I said in the beginning, people are just so awesome. They're just out there to support you, and it's so wonderful. The things that you see along the course too, not only the beautiful bridges of Pittsburgh, but there are bands like jazz bands, rock bands, heavy metal bands, live bands out there on the course playing for you. It's unbelievable. There are people in costumes. So I gave a big teddy bear a high five. Someone was dressed in a big teddy bear costume. There were also people in dinosaur costumes. There were people sitting there drinking beer. There were people handing out beer. There were two older gentlemen sitting playing chess, drinking their beer and ringing their cowbell. Just totally awesome. So yeah, you just can't beat the crowd support at the Pittsburgh races. It's really wonderful. A couple of things that I do remember: watch out for the first few miles. I think for both the half marathon and the marathon course, when you're going through what's called the Strip District of Pittsburgh, there are these white poles that are come up to about your waist, and they're in the middle of the course, and I guess they're designed to, I don't know, maybe kind of keep people separated or something, but because it's so packed, you can't always see the white pole coming, and my shirt actually got caught on one and I almost fell. So, and then I heard people behind me bumping into the poles and stuff. So just watch out for those waist-high white poles in the beginning of the course. Everyone always talks about, Pittsburgh and the hills. Yes, there are hills, but I don't know if it's partly because I really don't mind hills that much. I think it breaks things up. And I also practice hills a little bit in my training. But also too, remember, when there are hills, yes, it's hard to go uphill harder, but then there's also the downhill. So I feel like for me, what I remember and I've done I've done both the full and the half in Pittsburgh. I just remember a lot of it feeling like it was downhill. The scenery is unbeatable, all the beautiful scenes over the bridges. The after party is also awesome. It is at Point State Park. There's a beautiful water fountain there that people really use as a photo op. So the Point State Park is located at the confluence of Pittsburgh's three rivers. There's a big, huge grassy field where people have blankets, they're sitting out in blankets and they're throwing frisbees and drinking beer. There's live music. I did also just want to add, little notes in my running journal about what helped during this half. I knew I was in decent enough shape to be able to run 13 miles. I was a little bit down I had lost a couple of pounds, so that helped. The less weight you're carrying, the better. But the most important thing is I was lifting. So I was doing strength training, not heavy lifting, but strength training, something that's appropriate for someone in my 50s like I am. And I really noticed that especially strength training that I'm doing for my arms and my core really helped. I think it really helps with your posture with running, and then as your legs are getting tired, you can really draw from the strength from your core and your arms and your upper body, and that can really help your run. My husband's always told me that, but I just was not a big believer in that until I've done it, and now I realized it really, really does help. Running is not just about your legs, it is overall fitness and training and strength. I promise you, if you do a half marathon, it's going to be a lifetime memory. Again, the great side of humanity that you get to see. And finally, for me, I love to eat, and nothing tastes as good as food after a half marathon. So that's my plug for the half marathon. That's my plug for Pittsburgh Half. On to the next part of my video, which is footage from the race weekend itself. See you there.
Like what?
Here we are, David Lawrence Convention Center, home of the Expo. There we are. The Expo. Love it. That's so cute. You got this. It's like a new park with scary for animals. Oh. What's this guy? Oh, a snail. Oh, funny. I love animals. I think this is the kiddo race. Oh, little kids. Are they kids? We're in Tupelo, Honey. Feel good shot. Oh yeah, we will. Thank you. Here we go. Look at the flyover. There's that good look.
Oh, we finally got in the middle of that. That Market Square over there. We got lost again.
Oh yeah. Beautiful morning for the race. It's a little bit chilly. The sun's going to be out. It's great. But I'm gonna walk into the start. Feeling good. That nervous, fun, pre-race energy. Let's go. Everyone's getting to the start.
I'm uphill from you all.
first sprint. Feeling good. Beautiful day. Woo.
Keep going, good job. Let's go.
Thank you. Another one in the books. That was so fun. That's, I think, probably the funnest race I've ever done. It was awesome. Love Pittsburgh. Thank you, Pittsburgh. That was so much fun.
Look out, banana time.
Best banana you've ever had.
Thank you.
Well, we've got the cookies. I love the smiley face cookies. Thank you. I gotta get a doggy. Oh, look at that dog. Yeah, this is Booba. I'm Laura. We're cooking.
Great job.
Cause I want you, and I need you, and I'm down for you always. And I'm down for you always. And I'm down for you, down for you, down for you always. Kiki, are you loving? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me. Cause I want you.
Alright, Point State Park. Love you, Pittsburgh. Woo. Hey, Pumpkin. There's the Sheraton. Hello. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I don't have anything for you fellas. Have a nice day. Enjoy Mr. Sun.
All right, if you made it to the end, thank you so much for being here. I definitely plan on doing the Pittsburgh Half again, so I hope to see you next year in 2027. Happy running. Bye.